Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Pittsburgh Steelers' new safety has never seen a freak of nature like George Pickens. The Pittsburgh Steelers will rely upon George Pickens to be the top target in the team's passing offense. With a bunch of unproven names behind him on the wide receiver depth chart, Pickens needs to step up and become a true number one target for the Steelers to have a successful passing game. New Steelers safety DeShaun Elliott has seen a lot of great wide receivers in his time around the NFL. He played with Tyreek Hill in Miami in 2023, so he knows what top wide receivers look like daily. Elliott says that he has never seen someone like Pickens, though, who makes alien-like catches every single day. I had Tyreek Hill on my team, Elliott said on the Sick podcast Steelers Crazy. I have never seen a freak of nature like George Pickens. Pickens looked like he had another gear in his game this training camp. He put up an excellent performance, catching passes all over the football field, including as an intermediate route runner. Over the last few seasons, Pickens has largely only been a deep ball player with occasional flashes on underneath balls. Yet, suppose he can put it all together and become a dynamic route runner and separator. In that case, the Steelers will have something serious to work with in this offense, even if the pieces around Pickens in the wide receiver room are suboptimal. Pickens has great body control and hands. That will carry with him no matter what routes he runs. The Steelers can scheme up significant mismatches even with the rest of the wide receiver room just by using Pickens in innovative ways. Making in-season trade for Cortland Sutton or Deebo Samuel just got tougher. With the Pittsburgh Steelers freeing up cap space following Tuesday's extension with DL Cam Hayward and the team unlikely to use it all on a likely extension with Pat Freiermuth, what could the team do with that extra money? They could roll it over into next year, they could use it on another player like Najee Harris, or they could wait and make an aggressive in-season move for a wide receiver. Denver's Cortland Sutton and San Francisco's Deebo Samuel are two names who could be mentioned this fall. While the odds were never high, the last 48 hours have made it even more unlikely. This week, Samuel and Sutton restructured their contracts, lowering their 2024 cap charge. Samuel's restructure created over $16 million in cap space, per ESPN's Field Yates. Given the dead money that would be accelerated should either be traded, it's difficult to believe either will be traded this season. This would take them out of the theoretical running to be names Pittsburgh could pursue should they look to make a splash addition near the trade deadline. Of course, there are non-monetary reasons to believe neither receiver was getting moved. Sutton is the top target for rookie QB Bo Nix in Denver, and dealing him could hinder Nix's play and stunt his development. Samuel and the 49ers are gearing up for a Super Bowl run after narrowly missing out the last 2 years. It's doubtful their season will go sideways enough to make them sellers by Week 9. Still, Samuel's restructure has led to some speculation he won't be traded next offseason either, a common belief after Brandon Ayuk secured a long-term deal with the team. Though not relevant at the moment, these changes are key to remember midseason. It's one reason why some offseason speculation about Seattle's Tyler Lockett was fruitless after his spring restructure. If not Sutton and Samuel, who could Pittsburgh look at? While this is all too early speculation, the Las Vegas Raiders' Davante Adams will be floated if the Raiders get off to a slow start. Others who could be connected include the New England Patriots' Kendrick Bourne and the Tennessee Titans' DeAndre Hopkins. That's not to say Pittsburgh should or would consider any or all of those names, but they're veterans on teams who could be looking to collect draft picks by the deadline. A deadline that, by the way, has been pushed back an additional week to the Tuesday following Week 9 after the NFL adopted a Steelers proposal to push the trade deadline back. Steelers have a perfect trade target to forget about Brandon Ayuk misfire. Up until just a few days ago, it had felt like there was a never-ending saga at hand between the Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers and wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, among other teams previously involved, too. For those catching up, Aiyuk had been involved in a contract dispute with the 49ers and it seemed to be going nowhere. There were a whole lot of twists and turns, rumors, tables turning and tides shifting. At long last, though, the 49ers kept their man. San Francisco and Aiyuk agreed on a 4-year contract, and the trade rumors were over, just like that. Now, the Steelers are still left without another top option next to George Pickens. But, there could be another wide receiver to come available in the near future. According to Jeff Howe of the New York Times, there are folks around the NFL who believe the Las Vegas Raiders might trade their star wideout. Wrote Howe, barring an unexpectedly hot start, some around the league are wondering if the Raiders would move receiver Davante Adams at the trade deadline. They need to maximize their draft assets to find a franchise quarterback, and the 31-year-old Adams isn't likely to be around when the Raiders are ready to make a playoff push. If you thought the quarterback situation was unsolved in Las Vegas, think again, Davante. The Steelers may have named Russell Wilson the starter, but there are many who believe it's only a matter of time before Justin Fields takes that away. Now, which quarterback would be better for Adams? That's the big question, and a question worth asking Adams prior to any trade going through. For the moment, Adams will be catching passes from veteran Gardner Minshew while second-year pro Aidan O'Connell is once again relegated to the backup role. Adams has infamously voted for O'Connell in the past, though, which leads some to believe the team could be doing exactly what the Steelers are going to do. Both teams would have an easier time moving from the older veteran to the younger player, with Las Vegas going from Minshew to O'Connell and the Steelers going from Wilson to Fields. But, which situation is a better one? The answer is a resounding Pittsburgh. The Steelers' defense will likely always be a force, so long as the key pieces are healthy and Mike Tomlin is still in charge. Offensively, there are some weapons. Add Adams to a core of Pickens, Jaylen Warren, Najee Harris and Pat Freiermuth, plus potentially the rushing ability of Fields, and you've got an exciting offense. At least, it sounds exciting on paper. But, would the Raiders entertain a trade? It makes sense. They're not going to truly contend this year, and the quarterback situation is far from concrete. At least, Pittsburgh could offer an upgrade under center. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Davante Adams? Leave your opinion in the comments.